Days after the Finance Minister Bill Morneau introduced his third budget, Donald Trump threatened to slap massive new tariffs on steel and aluminum, which would have a huge impact on jobs right here in Canada.
We're going to be instituting tariffs next week. What's been allowed to go on for decades is disgraceful. It's disgraceful.
Those threats come at a time when foreign investment in Canada is slowing down, of course, because of uncertainty over NAFTA. But Bill Morneau did not choose to make issues of competitiveness the focus of his budget. Instead, he focused on things like pay equity legislation for federally regulated sectors, increased paternal leave, $4 billion over 5 years for Canadian researchers, a promise to study a national pharmacare program, and yes, of course, there's that $18.1 billion deficit in 2018-19. So, did his budget leave Canada vulnerable to a trade war with the U.S.? Finance Minister Bill Morneau joins us now. Good to have you here, Minister.
Evan, good to be on your show.
Obviously, the headline now is threats from Donald Trump of big tariffs on steel and aluminum. They've sent the markets reeling. What's your immediate reaction to those threats for high tariffs?
We've been really clear, Evan. Our immediate reaction is Canada is an integral part of the supply chain on steel and aluminum in North America. We clearly have said that this is important to maintain the ability for us to trade back and forth. We're going to keep putting that message forward, and obviously we're going to be firm. We're going to say that this is not an acceptable possibility for us to put tariffs on an important commodity like steel and aluminum.
Okay, will Canada retaliate if he follows through?
Our approach right now today is to make our position known. We've clearly said that we're prepared to react. The starting point always is to try and get to the right answer, and that's what we're doing. I spoke to Treasury Secretary Mnuchin this week to give him our point of view. He clearly understood. So we're going to keep working to make sure that all of the people that are involved in this decision get to what we hope will be the right answer.
Okay, obviously Canada wants an exemption on this, but Donald Trump tweeted out, trade wars are good and they're easy to win. He's clearly threatening a trade war. He believes it's easy to win. It seems like your message is not being heard. What's your interpretation of that tweet by Donald Trump?
Evan, I don't interpret tweets. I think what we can keep doing
it's the President of the United
in
States,
the way that
though.
we are. We're going to put forward our position. The Prime Minister was firm yesterday. We see that the logic here, from our perspective, is clearly that we put forward the fact that we're part of the security chain for the United States as a staunch ally. We're going to keep putting forward that position, and we're going to remind them that we don't think a trade war is in anyone's best interests, and we don't want to be forced to react. But of course, we will if we have to.
Okay, so you will if you have to. There is a plan in place to react if, quote, a trade war begins?
Evan, I'm not going to get there. We're, as I said, we're working to make sure we get to the right conclusion, which is to exempt Canada from this action.
One more question, because it relates to softwood lumber. If Donald Trump does follow through in this, is your government prepared to help steel and aluminum manufacturers if indeed there is a trade tariff slapped on them?
We've been really clear in our position. I'm not going to get to hypotheticals. What I'm going to say is that we are firmly putting forth our position. We're ensuring that allies in the United States understand that this will harm Americans. This will actually harm American business. It will harm America's security concerns. And of course, we think it's the wrong thing for Canada as well. So we will keep putting forward that position.
All right, we're just days after your budget. The criticism of your budget is that it missed addressing these kind of urgent challenges suddenly facing our economy. That challenge is competitiveness. You've got these Trump threats of tariffs, the threat of a trade war. Foreign investment in Canada has now fallen to the lowest level in a decade. There's a lack of investment in things like the oil sands. There's concerns about NAFTA that's freezing foreign investment. Why didn't you address those major problems in your budget?
Evan, that was a whole lot of negative speak. What I can tell you is there's a whole other way to look at our economy. We've made investments in Canadians over the last couple of years, and the facts are pretty clear. We've had a higher growth rate than any other G7 country for the last year and a half. 600,000 Canadians are working that weren't working a couple of years ago. That's what we're focused on. Lowest unemployment rates in nearly 40 years. So absolutely we need to think about those risks to our competitiveness in the short term. The best way to do that is with a strong economy. That's where we're at. We also need to think, though, about the long term. We need to think about how we make a long-term difference. So we focused on getting women engaged and having good outcomes in the economy because they've been responsible for the last 40 years for a third of our economic growth.
I understand the long-term thinking, but the short-term headwinds are real now. Donald Trump lowered corporate tax from 35 to 21%, lower than many Canadian provinces. We've got direct investment in this country in 2017 dropped 26%. And you talk about growth, we've had the highest growth in the G7 for a while. Next year, we will be behind Germany and the United States. The question is, why don't you address that?
Well, let me start by saying, Evan, that your math's wrong. So the headline rate from 35 to 21 is a headline rate. In fact, what we see through our early analysis is that it's actually about 26% in the United States for large corporations, about 27% in Canada for large corporations. So it's true that they've changed their competitive position. Not for small businesses, however, because we're still at the lowest small business tax rate. The point is, taxes are complex. They haven't finished writing the regulations. We need to make sure we get our tax rates continue to be in a competitive position, and we're doing our homework to make sure we do that. When you have a strong economy, that does allow you to do your homework and get it right. Taxes are one element of how businesses are competitive. Of course, there's many others. We need to think about how we maintain a strong workforce. We're working on that, how we focus on a good innovation sector, so we've thought about science and how we can advance our cause there. And yes, we need to fight hard on behalf of Canada and NAFTA. Yes, we need to think about U.S. tax rates, and we're going to do that in a way that is deliberative and gets us to a good long-term outcome.
Okay, well, we'll see about the math. Donald Trump says that his corporate tax rate will be 21, 22%. We'll see. Let me just talk about one other element in your budget. You've walked back a promise to implement, that was the word, an implementation of a national pharmacare. First of all, there was no money in the budget for it. Now you've just said that there's a study. Then you said, and I want to use your own words, you said it's not going to be universal, it's going to deal with the gaps in the system. Minister, are you now ruling out a universal national pharmacare program?
You're not using the words exactly that we said in our budget, Evan. What we said in our budget is we wanted to implement national pharmacare. What we want to make sure is that all Canadians have access to what in the 21st century is a critical part of our healthcare system, and that's pharmaceuticals. There are too many people who don't have access to pharmaceutical products in Canada right now. We need to get that right.
But I wonder if this is misleading, Minister. The word in the budget is the implementation of an advisory council on the implementation of national pharmacare. Then you make a speech and you say, we may shore up the gaps. So one last, just to be clear, is your government still considering a universal pharmacare plan? Yes or no?
What our government is considering is ensuring that we get the very best advice on how to implement national pharmacare. That's what we've asked Dr. Eric Hoskins to do. He is going to get the best information, come up with the expert advice that we need to get to this answer, and we're going to consider that and how we can actually make sure we achieve our objective.
All right, I got to leave it there on a very, very big week, your third budget, and lots of headwinds coming from the United States. Minister, great to have you on the program.
And a great budget, I might say, Evan. So thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
It's great to see a review of your budget there. Thanks, Minister.
Thank you.